More and more, it feels like we don't own the content that we pay for, whether that's movies, music, or books. Instead of ownership, everything is moving to streaming services or subscription-based services where it can be taken away, removed at any time. And now here in February 2025, Amazon is making a huge change to the Kindle store, which reinforces this trend. So if you care about actually owning your digital content or even just having control over the books that you've already paid for, then this is something you need to know about. Let's get into it. But first, if you don't know me, I'm Spencer, and I like to talk about simple living, frugality, and digital minimalism. And today we're talking about Amazon and the erosion of digital ownership. So what actually is going on with Amazon right now? Well, as of February 26, 2025, you're no longer going to be able to go to the Amazon website, manage your purchased content, as in the Kindle books that you've actually bought through Amazon, and use the download and transfer via USB button. Up until now, if you've purchased a Kindle book on Amazon, you've been able to go to this tab on the Amazon settings called Manage Your Content. And you're able to look at all of the digital content you've ever purchased, and you've been able to actually download those files and have them on your computer. Now, at first glance, this seems like a small change because most books, at least the ones from big publishers, have DRM built in. So you don't really own the file anyway. Whether or not you download it, it shouldn't really matter, right? The problem with this is that Amazon now has more control than ever over users' libraries. Even with the DRM built into most of the books that are for sale on Kindle, people were still able to download those files and store them locally. Backing up your files locally gives you power in case that Amazon tried to remove a book, which they actually have a track record for doing. Now, I can't remember the exact circumstances, but I'll place them up here. Back in 2009, Amazon removed 1984, the book 1984, from a bunch of different people's Kindles who had purchased the book. The reason for this, I think, was that either the seller or the publisher at that time didn't have actual rights to be selling that book. So rather than just stopping them, they actually took the book off everybody's device who had purchased it. And this kind of removal of content, censorship, and able to just kind of take things that you already have paid money to own, this is becoming more and more common in our online media marketplace. Now, earlier in my channel, I talked about Sony and their deal with the Discovery Channel kind of coming into question. Potentially everybody who had paid for any sort of Discovery Channel show were going to have them removed off their device because the deal went wrong. But this also happens with streaming services all the time too, where content is either removed or modified based on certain dealings or even just the social climate. The bottom line is that people want more control of the media that we pay for, not less. And if you're not able to even download the media that you pay for digitally, locally on your device, then what's that about? What's the point? Another way this is going to impact users negatively is that if you are purchasing books through the Kindle store, DRM-free ebooks to load on another device that isn't a Kindle, you're no longer going to be able to download those files to do that. Some indie authors actually offer their books DRM-free on Amazon, and then there's the ability there to sideload those books onto non-Kindle devices like my Kobo here. But with the USB downloads feature removed, that option completely disappears. Now, this is not going to just impact me and prevent me from reading certain books that I want to read, but it's actually going to hurt the pocketbooks of these indie publishers and authors. I think it's clear why Amazon is doing this. They're trying to get tighter on the DRM control that they have over the Kindle offerings. There's also a second part to this which is extremely important, and that is the shift of all media companies to subscription first and cloud-based models. For quite a while now, Amazon's been pushing more toward the Kindle Unlimited and cloud-based reading experience. And by making Wi-Fi the only way that customers can access their books, it seems like they're trying to push people more and more toward that shift. Now, I'm not sure if I even need to bother going into why this matters because it should be abundantly clear. More and more, we are getting to a point where we just don't own the things that we pay for. Things are getting more and more into streaming and cloud-based services and subscription models and less about just paying as you go. I think this lack of ownership is a bit of a deal with the devil where you're basically exchanging every option in the world. You can try everything if you want, but if you stop paying that constant IV drip of a subscription fee, you end up with nothing. And I don't have a problem with renting some of the content that you own. I've talked about that on the channel before. I think there's a balance to be struck where you pay for some of the content that you own if you know that you're going to want to consume it over and over again, but then you can rent stuff so you can dip your toes in as well. But corporations have made it clear that subscription models are the most profitable for them and therefore the way to go forward. And policy changes like this from companies like Amazon are proof that companies want to go this way and they're taking us with them. And folks, I don't know about you, but I'm not really willing to go there. I mean, I can do a little bit of streaming. I can do a little bit of subscription, okay? I understand where the model makes sense. But I'm not willing to go there for every service that I enjoy in my life. For every product that I consume, I'm not willing to pay a subscription fee. So folks, now it comes to this question. What do we do now? What are the workarounds? What are the options? Well, until February 26, 2025, this feature still exists on the Amazon website. So if you have purchased any books through the Kindle store, you should go there now and download them. I honestly think that when Amazon decided they were going to do this, they should have made it that no new books purchased after February 26, 2025 will be able to be downloaded from the Kindle store, but every book purchased before still could be. However, that's not the way that they decided to go, but I saw one other YouTuber talking about this topic. I think her name was Christine, and she said that she hopes to see a class action lawsuit on this, and I honestly hope that there is one. We need to stand up for the things that we believe in as consumers. We can't just let companies tell us the way that things are going to be going and then we just go along with it. You can choose to not support the company, you can spend your dollars elsewhere, or you can stand there and fight and I guess take them to court over it. We have seen instances where customers have went after companies for these bogus changes that they've made and the customers have actually won. With the Sony and Discovery Channel thing that I mentioned where everybody was going to lose their Deadliest Catch or whatever other Discovery show they purchased, because enough customer outcry came from that, Sony and Discovery struck a deal and no content was removed. In another video that I'll link above about the rise of the subscription economy, pretty relevant to this subject, I talked about BMW, who was trying to do a subscription program for the heated seats in their luxury vehicles. They were going to charge a certain amount a month that customers were going to have to pay to unlock the heated seats that were already available in the expensive car, like we're talking a $100,000 car that customers purchased from the company. I really hope that the person who came up with that idea got let go, but there was enough public outcry about it that BMW scrapped the plan. It's possible that if enough people tell Amazon we will not pay for things we cannot own, then maybe Amazon will stop this. However, Amazon is another beast altogether, and I'm not so sure if they're going to budge on this. One of the changes that I've made in the last couple of months was I moved over to Kobo. I got this for Christmas for my family. It's the Kobo Clara Color. Now, I picked this device for a couple different reasons. One is that they had a partnership with iFixit, that this device is pretty repairable and that you can buy parts through iFixit so that you can actually do the repair on the screen or the battery or any part that you need to replace. But the second part is that I didn't want to be in the Amazon ecosystem anymore with Kindle. In Canada, you can use this Kobo to get books from the library. You can buy books from the Kobo store and you can buy books from the Kindle store and sideload them onto this device, at least up until February 26th. So at this point, if you're feeling the same way as I am, that you're sick of the smart world, you're sick of things moving to cloud only, to no ownership, to paying subscription services every month, then maybe you need to make a change. And if you're with Kindle, maybe you should consider leaving. I don't think I could do a video on this talking about the encroachment of our digital ownership rights without talking a little bit about physical media as well, because there's always another contender out there, another alternative to getting a book from Kindle. You could just get the book. I know that e-readers are very tempting. I have an e-reader and I enjoy it. I think there's a place for e-readers in your reading routine. But this kind of problem that we're having with Amazon here, that you're not able to download your book and actually own it, this would never happen with the good old paper book. Now, I have a video coming out in a couple of weeks on this exact topic, on the paper book versus the e-reader, talking about some of the pros and cons of each. And I mean, like, look at this. It's thick. It's bulky. You can't take so many with you. I can take my whole library with me on my e-reader, but I own this. You know, I can hold this. This is tangible. Jeff Bezos isn't coming to take this away from me, and there is something powerful in physical media. Physical media is not obsolete. There is still very much a place in our rights of ownership where physical media, it just locks us in. You can't take it away. So I do think there's something to think about in that, folks, and let me know in the comments what you think about this entire thing. Are you impacted by this change at Amazon? Are you a Kindle user? Let me know what you're going to do in the comment section because I'd love to hear what you're planning. Also, if you've already made the switch away or you're using a completely different brand of e-reader, let me know what your solution is because I think a lot of people are going to be looking to you for answers. And remember, folks, you only have till February 26, 2025 to download your books. So if you've bought books through the Amazon Kindle store, download them by February 26, 2025. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to support the channel, go over and check out the Patreon where you get access to all of my new videos ad-free as well as bonus videos quite regularly too. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next one.